Joining me, Mark Kennedy, the Parliamentary Bureau Chief for the Ottawa Citizen, Susan Delacourt, author and journalist for the Toronto Star, and joining us for the first time, somebody you might know, Evan Solomon of Sirius Radio, Everything is Politics. Evan, good to have you here, and as one person once said, it's better working with you than against you. So thanks.
Well, that's great to be here, Tom. I love it.
Let's start with tax credits, and let me give the first word to you. This is something that has become part of the political landscape now in a way that it never was before, using the tax code to target certain voters. Good idea, bad idea?
It's a good idea if majorities are elusive. We've got a bottleneck, three-way tide race. We've never seen anything like it. So you've got to start doing what can only be described as precision bombing. This is what it is. You've got to, for Stephen Harper, he's got his 30% base, and he's got to make sure they don't sit on their hands. But then he's got to get 7, 8, 9, 10% to win the majority. And how do you do that? You cobble it together by breaking down the population and zeroing in with little credits. We'll take, there's soccer moms, and we'll take families and renovation, and you put little boutique tax credits, and this goes back to his old advisor, Tom Flanagan, and you hope you can, like a piece of Lego, pack it up and hit your 39%. And you win. So this is all about a path to victory with little bonbons, little gifts. And by the way, when you say we don't know if they actually work, you talk to economists like Don Drummond. When you add all this stuff up, does it really do anything? Nobody knows the true cost.
The only people who really like it are the tax preparers, because they've got a lot more business. Right. But let me use my Susan Delacourt tax credit talking point, because Susan, in your book, Shopping for Votes, this was essentially exactly your thesis, that politics has become now a consumer game, and a consumer game, as Evan was saying, you go after the individual rather than the group.
Yeah, it's not good economics. I think all economists would as Evan said, would tell you nobody knows how this works. We do know that it works in politics. My favorite example of this, which is in the book, is that conservatives learned around 2004 or so, when they were out of power, that snowmobile owners tended to vote conservative. So they go up and they buy up all the magazine subscription lists, target those people with messages, and give them little bits and pieces. And I think the most recent Economic Action Plan had an initiative for snowmobile owners.
You know, there was a time in this country not that long ago when parties fought the big fight on themes, knowing that Canadians were much more likely to identify with a party, vote that way in one election and then subsequent elections, because their parents always voted that way. It's not that way anymore. And increasingly what we're seeing is parties and leaders try to go at the heart of someone's greed. I mean, what's this all about? It's all about getting money into your pocketbook. In some cases, in some of those tax credits, it's not a lot of money. In other cases, if you have a large family, you're talking thousands of dollars. So it comes down to, in those cases, if I'm not necessarily happy with the leader or what they stand for or what they want to do with the country, am I going to give up thousands of dollars in my own bank account because of my own views on policy? No, I'm going to go for that trinket that's being offered.
Arguably, in the old days, it was easier. You just bought everybody some rum and told them who to vote for, and a much more efficient way of doing it. Yep. Look, I want to move on to something else now, because this campaign has been marked by one other thing, and I've covered a lot of campaigns. The level of personal animosity in this campaign is, as Donald Trump would say, huge. We're heading into a minority situation. I just want to kick around the idea of how much personal animosity is going to stand in the way of cobbling together some sort of government if the numbers remain the way they are. How do those two things interact? Susan?
Well, first of all, I think Harper may reap what he's sowed here. I think in the demonization of his opponents is very good for electoral politics. But if there is the need to negotiate afterward, I do not see how he gets from having the most number of seats to passing a confidence vote in the House of Commons. I think this whole idea, the ABC vote that is out there right now, wherever it lands with Mulcair or Trudeau, they will feel that they cannot legitimately support Harper because people are so, their vote is so personally invested in seeing the end of him. So I do not see a path for Harper to get the most seats and govern. It can't happen.
So, okay, so does it mean then that there's no such thing as a conservative minority government coming out of this?
Well, I don't see that. I think there's two things that may be at play. There's animosity and there's arithmetic. On the animosity side, he has no natural allies, right? The Liberals and the NDP and the Greens are not natural allies for Stephen Harper. That said, in the past, this guy has governed as a minority leader for longer than any other prime minister. He's done it before for 4.5 years as a minority. The arithmetic side is where pragmatism comes in. Keep in mind, this long campaign, right, the longest since the 20s, means that at the end of it, and you talk to the Liberals and the NDP, they'll tell you, the Conservatives will get back, because of what they get back from the government, they'll get $35 million back. Yeah. Enough money to fund a 35-day campaign. The other guys will be in debt. So Stephen Harper's going to come and say, I know you don't like me. I know there's a lot of animosity. But are you going to pull a confidence vote when you have to borrow for another campaign? And I've got $35 million in the bank. I'm ready to go for round 2. So
he'll be well poised. You know, so much of what we're talking about, what we don't know just yet is the numbers. If Mr. Harper comes very close to a majority, if it's a strong minority, he's well positioned politically to stay alive. And make no doubt, he would make a very forceful argument to the public that if he had the largest share of the popular vote, if he had the most number of seats, that it would be undemocratic for him to be tossed out of office. Who knows how it would go? But on the other side of the ledger, there is no doubt that on the progressive side of the ledger in this country, Canadians want to see the back of Stephen Harper. So if he wins a weak minority, I would have to think there will be a lot of pressure being put on, not just on Tom Mulcair, but the other person, Justin Trudeau, who really then he would be the person under the gun, under the pressure. He's the person who has made the most forceful argument on, it seems, why he wouldn't work with the others.
But they will. I think we all know the pragmatism. They're not going to replay the Ignatieff mistake. They are, if they have the votes, if it's a weak minority. I think, despite the fact that Trudeau and Mulcair, I don't think they're exchanging Christmas cards, but I think that pragmatism would rule, and they would come to some kind of arrangement if they could. That'll be fascinating.
But to Tom's point, there's no doubt these people don't get along. They don't, on a personal level, they don't like each other, do they?
No.
Liberals and New Democrats, the Liberals see the Conservatives as their opponents too, not just New Democrats. We shouldn't forget, though, to Evan's point, that there are 2 women running campaigns right now, Katie Telford for the Liberals, Anne McGrath for the NDP, who were sitting at that table in 2008 together, negotiating the coalition agreement. And the only reason they didn't get that coalition through, Ignatieff aside, was that they had already passed a confidence vote. They had already passed Harper's throne speech post-2008. I don't think the opposition parties are going to make that mistake again.
I think if they move, they have to move fast. Listen, if Stephen Harper comes in with a weak minority, he will probably play for time, probably until January, February, before we get a throne speech. But at that point, if the Liberals and the New Democrats have any intention of somehow forming a government, they have to bring them down right then and there. They can't wait until the budget.
And we didn't even get around to old stock or even chicken stock, which is a real shame. But I want to thank you. Susan Delacourt, Mark Kennedy, and Evan Solomon. Good to have you all here. Thanks very much.